How's it going? I hope you're doing as good as I'm doing today. It was a pretty chill workout. I feel very melancholy at the moment, just kind of vibing throughout the whole thing. Nothing really too bad. I'm a little mad at myself because some stuff, but we're going to get into that pretty soon. I can't honestly be mad at all. It's just one of those days where things that you didn't expect to come up happen, and you're not as happy with how you performed by the end of it, but all that kind of stuff just leaves more room for growth in the future. So physically, I can give it a solid 7.2. It's all right. I got over the phantom knee pain today, which is good. It did not last, and I was kind of worried about it, so took a minute to get into the squats and really start feeling it, but it felt good. And my snatches just were not there today. Everything went, I hit the weights for sure, but a lot of going forward on the catches, which was very upsetting because I didn't look at my videos until the end of the workout because my phone was going to die. But it is what it is. It just leaves more room for me to improve. Mentally, I put it at a solid 7.7. Pretty good. A lot of good homies today. I got to have the fun experience that doesn't happen too often, where someone younger than me wants some advice, and I actually saw progress in their lifts after I talked to them and kind of mini coached them through it, and I was like, oh shit, that's the thing I can do maybe. I feel like anybody can relate to doing something that you really enjoy, and you actually see someone else get some results from it. You're like, oh fuck, that really works. Okay, cool. But just to get into it, why I'm a little upsetty spaghetti. Some old habits were coming back today, and again, I make it a big point not to overthink and not to overanalyze when you are trying to fix your form or just enjoy the workout. But I do like recording all my sets because I can see just on how on point I am with where I want to be at with my lifts. And this was just one of those rare days where I just didn't look at any of them because I didn't want to kill my phone's battery, and it ended up biting me at the end of it because I was jumping forward on literally just about every set. I think the first one I may have my warm-ups I think were fine, and I think I was doing fine on the first set, but it just gradually got worse and worse because I was trying to rush through it and I wasn't thinking about it. One of the most important things you gotta remind yourself of is you can't just lift with no thoughts. It's got to be a thing where you're halfway ooga booga caveman lifting. You're just trying to get that heavy weight over your head while maintaining the few mind muscle connections or the cues that you have in order to maintain good form and efficiency throughout your lifts, so that one doesn't outweigh the other. If you think too much, you're probably not going to make it because you're not pulling as hard as you can. And if you're pulling too hard and you're not thinking about it, you're not going to hit the lift where you want to, But again, I want to emphasize, I want to preface that it is completely fine. If anybody you look up to in weightlifting or anything that you love doing that you look up to, I guarantee you, no matter how perfect they look to you, they have those shitty days, and they have a lot more reps than you probably know, where they're just sitting there damn, I should be doing better. But that's what makes you continuously come back and want to do more. It's that short-term obsession for the long-term passion. It makes you want to keep driving for something better when perfection is never attainable. And so, if you're having one of those days where you just the habits coming back and you're you feel like you're beating yourself up. There's one time I literally sat in the gym for 2 hours working on my split jerk because I just really wanted to figure it out, and I was being really impatient, and I tore my hand open because of how much I did it, and it ended up not even being that worth it. I hit I had way better progress in my later workouts because I just chilled out, stopped overthinking it as much, and just letting the experience come to fruition. It's one of those things where no matter how hard you try or how much you want it, things where you have to have a good mind-muscle connection and a natural, you know exactly what you're doing before you even do it. I've done so many thousands of snatches and clean and jerks and benches and squats to where there's no thought that much anymore about what I'm doing. I just go in, I do it, and I'm like, all right, that's what I was supposed to do. And every now and then, it's not exactly what I wanted, but it's humbling. I guess it shows cracks in the armor. Vulnerability is never a bad thing unless you allow it to overtake yourself. You need to take that vulnerability, hone it in, really accept it. It's not a bad thing. It's showing that you're human, you got stuff you can work on, and believe it or not, when you have shit days like that where you feel like the world's ending because you're not doing what you thought you were doing, you probably are a lot closer to fixing it than you know. It's probably going to happen very soon to where finally, it's starting to really click, I guess. Something I was explaining to the guy I was mini coaching today was, as you do it over and over and over and over and over, it will get to the point where you'll hit that one amazing rep out of 1,000. And you will never forget it. That's where that mind-muscle connection comes through. You put in so much effort over so much time, letting your body really try to get used to that new thing you're trying to learn. Like he was trying to get a full third extension rather than cutting the second pull. And he actually hit it today. And I was like, whoa. And I was like, okay, that's what you latch onto. And so now, for the next however many months or weeks, he's going to be on cloud 9 thinking he's got perfect snatch form. When in reality, what the great thing about this sport is that makes you keep coming back for more and wanting to do better is that every time you think you've hit the perfect snatch or the perfect clean jerk or whatever lift you're doing, I guarantee you give it 6 months at the most, and you will be sitting there being like, I am so shit at what I am doing and it needs to change. It is always something that starts as your new perfection. You couldn't go higher, and then you hit it so many times, your body finally gets used to it, and every time your body acclimates to something, it moves on to the next step, and so your brain's sitting, even though your body's not ready to do it yet, your brain's sitting there like, hey man, we've done this 1,000 times, and it's not efficient enough, you're not putting in enough here, or this thing sucks ass, you need to try better, and you're like, man, I suck, now we gotta focus on this. And then again, the same thing, you'll hit that new perfect rep just for the cycle to come all over again. And it's something to be grateful for. It should not be something that you look down upon because it may make you feel negative in the moment and make you upset about the way you're performing, like I was today for a couple minutes. But I know for a fact, because it's just experience. The more you do it, the more you believe it. I'm going to give myself the rest time I need. I'm going to keep following the program as it is, even though I want to work on snatches again tomorrow. And when my time comes to put in the effort that I'm allowed to put in for my snatches, that's programmed, that I deserve to do, I will be able to put in maximum effort. I will be honing in as hard as I can. And man, the progress you can see after just one flip of the mental switch, oh shit, you can go so far, not based off of a grudge or a disdainment for a certain thing you did, but that, again, the short-term obsession you have to reach that peak feeling of satisfaction that you're constantly chasing. That is what the sport is about. Constantly trying to find a new goal, a new way to satisfy your mind and your body, a new way to maintain passion. I'm doing the same exact lifts every single day, and to you it may seem monotonous, or it may seem that I'm doing the same exact thing over and over and it's kind of boring, but to me, every little thing matters. Every small detail of every lift, every rest cycle, every injury, every perfect cycle even. Like everything matters to me. And so every workout, I feel like I'm doing something I've never done before, because every time you work out or every time you remain consistent in whatever you love doing, you get to a point where you consistently want something more, something better, something more efficient, something more to drive that passion that you started with. And I'm not saying that you're going to lose that passion eventually, because it consistently can be a back and forth cycle. I'm just saying that as you get better and better, your body will, or especially your mind will sit there and be like, hey man, this isn't what it was. So it's not the fact that you lost that initial passion, it's the ideology of how am I going to get that back as quickly and efficiently as possible. You know, having the most fun, just doing what you love doing. And so today I jumped forward. The next day I snatched, I'm going to fucking kill it. I promise you. You know, now that it's there, it's going to be a little parasite in the back of my brain. And I just, that little bit of drive for something that I can't do just yet, but I know I have it coming for me because I'm putting in the work for it. That is what keeps me driven. You know, it's what keeps me loving this shit. So, you know, I don't really know how to relate it. That's just my experience with it. I think it's really important to give yourself credit even when you feel like nothing is deserving to yourself. There's always good effort you're putting in. I was healthy today. My knee felt better today. The squats went great. The snatches were starting really great. I just think I was rushing it too much, and I guarantee you next time I get in there, it might just fly like normal, and I'm not even going to have to think about it. You know, it's a wonderful thing, but I just love the idea of just like that mental little parasite that everybody has when they become truly passionate, where you're just like, that's going to be the thing that I work on right now. You know, and then the moment I surpass that goal, it'll be another thing, another. And I think that the best way to maintain that kind of passion, that drive for a long period of time, is when you start something that you truly love, like I'm doing here, or even with these videos. You can't just have one stagnant goal in mind. You know, when I started lifting, I didn't just want to do 315 clean jerk, 225 snatch. That wasn't all I cared about. It was the form, it was the consistency, the discipline, the overall health of my body, getting in shape, you know, increasing my efficiency, everything. It's not just the numbers or how heavy I can go. It's the journey that it takes to get there and the steps that you have to take along the way, you know, that keep you going. And I guarantee you, the moment my body starts to crumble and I can't do anything heavy anymore, we're going to switch goals up right away, go to bodybuilding or just lift what we can, you know? If I'm like in my 50s, I will be so gleeful to even put 1 or 2 plates above my head, you know, because it's just life. You know, you grow, you have new goals every step, and even if it's materialistically lower value, it doesn't mean that goal is any less important to you. So do your thing, take it with a grain of salt, you know, just stay consistent, you know, have those plentiful amount of goals to keep you going, and I promise you, you are closer than you know to doing something pretty crazy that you didn't think you had in you. So I think I'm gonna start a cut. Honestly, I've gotten so disciplined with the gym that I think it'd be a really fun idea to start programming my diet, not too harshly because I love food, but just enough to where I could lose some weight maybe, because I think it'd be cool. So that'll be a new goal for me today. So follow me if you want, don't, whatever. You got to do your own thing, you know, trial and error, figure it out. You will get there, I promise you. Just enjoy life as much as you can in the meantime. That's all I got. Bye.